I don't think anybody can really know his story because he's not going to brag about himself.
I could not have seen myself teaching in any other environment other than the city of Inglewood, because those are my roots. I knew the terrain, I knew the streets, I knew the gang culture, I knew the vernacular, I knew all of the things that you guys were talking in the class.
When he spoke, they listened. Growing up in Inglewood it wasn't too many choices you was able to make.
He's one of the guys that's a staple, that have changed hundreds of lives of young men that probably was never going to get reached.
Schools with a Purpose was a program that was designed specifically in the early 90s for African American males, with the emphasis to make sure that African American males were not falling through the cracks of the educational system. It was self-contained, and the program went into depth in terms of not only focusing on the educational component, but the mindset, making sure that they were great citizens and that they had a positive male role model in their life. Someone who was tangible and who they can communicate with on a day-to-day basis.
The stigma that came with that program because of our backgrounds.
But we in the country with other people who supposed to not be nothing.
It was often negative with the mainstream population, especially some of the teachers.
Teachers who didn't want to fuck with us, they won't fuck with us. We was too much for them. Put them in that class.
Some teachers can't handle some certain type of kids.
I remember Mr. Johnson vouching for us and taking up for us.
Everything I am today, I attributed to Mr. J.
There was teachers that didn't want us on campus.
He gave me a chance.
They felt like we were the criminals or the gang members or something like that.
Nigga rather be in that class than be in juvenile hall or be in jail or somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
We had this ritual when we exit the classroom. Mr. Johnson would shake our hands one by one and call us by the nickname that he gave us. That handshake meant a lot because some of us didn't make it back on Monday.
Just another typical day in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department gang unit. The walls are filled with photos of dead gang members.
In the 90s, when I first began teaching, I was losing a lot of students. Unfortunately, students were dying at a rapid pace. That was one of the darkest times of my professional career, losing a lot of the students.
There was this one moment that I won't forget. He reached into his desk, and he had a stack of obituaries. And if I recall correctly, the comment he made is that he stopped collecting them. This is a collection that he has built throughout the years, and he has stopped collecting them. And it was a stack. And it's not like these are people that got out of class and died. These are people that died in my classroom.
I learned early on to make sure that I shook you guys' hands and gave you a gentleman's hug before you left out the door, because I sometimes some of the guys would return.
We're gonna be talking about this man for years to come because of the impact that he's made.
Saved my life.